Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. Again, I feel like I start a lot of my videos like, hey, it's been a while, but it really has been a while. It's been a crazy few months. I was sick for a long time as well. I had an eye infection for a long time, so I wasn't really able to play with makeup for a while. But I really do enjoy making these videos. I love giving you guys information because I love learning more information about products. And yeah, so before I just keep babbling on, let's get into the video. So today I will be reviewing the new Covergirl Matte Made Foundation. This is a matte foundation that claims to be 12 hours worth of coverage, medium coverage, oil control, transfer resistant, and it does come in 40 shades. So I think that's amazing. Covergirl has kind of revamped their image lately. They have kind of gone a whole different route. I like it. I like the direction it's heading in. It's definitely looking a little bit more modern than it usually was. And with this new launch, they came out with a few different products. So they did come out with 40 shades, and I picked up the shade M10, which is just medium 10, and it's called Golden Natural. It was definitely a little difficult for me to pick my shade. The problem with the drugstore is that sometimes that they will have testers, sometimes they'll only have like 4 testers for all the shades, sometimes they'll have no testers. So it is a challenge because I picked it up when it really just launched, and it was like really new at the store. They didn't have any testers yet, so I kind of had to eyeball it. So I definitely like the color that I chose, so you'll see later when I apply it. But yeah, I will be checking in with you later on just to let you know how the foundation's holding up. And yeah, so let's get into the application. I'm going to start by priming my face. So I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, and I'm going to use the Pot Beauty Face Magnet Primer. One to hydrate and one to ensure longevity. I tend to be like a little drier on my cheeks, so I'm just applying it especially on my outer cheek. And then a little bit on the forehead. And then I'm gonna use the Pot Beauty for the middle. So just like right here where I want it to stay a little longer. Now that I prime my face, we're going to go into the star of the show. So I picked up the Covergirl TrueBlend Matte Made Foundation in the shade M10. So I think that's medium 10. And it's called Golden Natural. I was really excited to pick up this foundation, especially because it's new and because I just love like the packaging as well. I think Covergirl has done a pretty good job at revamping itself, and the best part is it comes with a pump and it's in the drugstore. I think that a lot of drugstore foundations are now trying to incorporate the pump. It's just so much easier. So yeah, I really like the packaging. The only thing is the bottle is made of glass, so if this drops, it could be a disaster. And in my room, I actually have like ceramic tile, so let's just hope it never happens. So I'm just gonna swatch the foundation on the side of my cheek here. So you can see it's pretty close to my neck. Not so much my hand, but it's, you know, we'll work with it, I guess. So I'm just gonna take off my glasses right now, and I'm going to grab my Sephora mirror, and I'm actually going to be using the Real Techniques sponge to apply it. So I have used the foundation. This is not a first impression, and I just find that it's supposed to be kind of like a medium coverage foundation, buildable matte, and that's basically what intrigued me most about it. The fact that it is matte and that we're in the summer months right now. So because of summer, I get a little bit more oily everywhere, and you know, matte foundations are kind of your friend. But I do have dry skin, so it tends to be a little bit of a double-edged sword. So I moisturize a lot, and that's why I use a hydrating primer when I do use matte foundations. So I get kind of the best of both worlds. So I'm just blending it out right now. As you can see, it blends out a lot, and it really matches, I guess, as best as I could get. You know, it's so hard to pick foundations in the drugstore. Like, some of the drugstores are starting to have testers, but sometimes they'll have testers of only like 3 shades and not the full range. And then I'm like, okay, so I can kind of go by process of elimination here, but then you don't really know what all the shades are like. So right now I have 1 pump of the foundation on my face. I don't have a lot of, I guess, issues right now. I do have a blemish right here, but I'm gonna actually put more kind of concealer in that area. I had a blemish on this cheek area, and I have one right here. I don't know if you can tell. So it has covered it, but you can kind of still see it peeking through, at least the discoloration. So I just added a few pumps where I think it needed a little bit more, and I'm just gonna blend that out. So, this is the full face of foundation at the moment. I do like the finish. It is still like tacky. It could be most likely because of the primer, but it does feel really tacky to this touch. When I've used the foundation before, it kind of does dry matte by itself, but I tend to set it anyways, so by the time I set it, it's definitely already matte. But yeah, definitely it's not adding like any dew or anything. I know that any dew that I do have actually comes from the primer that I used, but the foundation is pretty matte. It is a comfortable matte, I will say that. It literally says on the bottle it's a comfortable matte, a comfort matte. And it is. It feels comfortable. It doesn't feel like it's like, sometimes matte foundations can feel tightening, especially since I have dry skin. So the only thing is I have like a little bit of dry area here. I'm not sure if you can see. And the foundation does seem to be kind of gathering there. So I'm just gonna put like a little bit of priming water over the area to kind of hopefully moisten it up. But other than that, it's not really gathering in my smile lines. It's blended out on my nose okay. It's definitely medium coverage. I'd say more medium. You can build it to a fuller coverage, but I think essentially it stays pretty medium. You'd need maybe about 3 pumps to really get that full coverage effect. But if you have really kind of blemished skin, I'd say you would need to layer the foundation, which it does layer, but like I said, I have like a little bit of dry area here on my face, and it seems to kind of be grabbing a little bit more than just where it's normal. So I'm going to do my concealer and my brows, and then I'll hop on back. This is my full face on, so I used the new Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions palette on my eyes, and I am wearing the Dose of Colors Desi X Katy collab in Hot Fire. And I just put on my bronzer and some mascara, no falsies today. So yeah, so this is the foundation as of now. I've been wearing it for about maybe 2 hours right now. It still looks really flawless. It still looks really good. When I applied the foundation, it took about maybe a minute or 2 for it to really just kind of set itself, for it not to be as tacky as it was. Now that my foundation is all set with powder and the bronzer and blush and things like that, it's not tacky anymore. My face just feels smooth. Again, the foundation really is a comfort matte, as it says here. It doesn't feel tightened, Like, it doesn't really tighten my skin. It doesn't feel like it'll crack or anything. It feels very freeing. And especially since I have dry skin, I thought it would be something that I have to be aware of. Sometimes matte foundations can be so matte that they just suck the life out of my skin, and because of that, you know, it feels like very stiff. But this one is very easy to move around, for me to talk, for me to just make facial expressions. So I do like that about it. It really does even out my skin tone, and it really has given me a smooth base. I do like the coverage. While I know that full coverage foundations tend to be a big favorite for people, I do prefer the medium coverage. I do like a little bit of skin to show through, so that's why I do enjoy medium coverage foundations. And I would say that this is definitely, most definitely, a medium coverage foundation that you can build up. I did layer about 2 pumps of foundation, maybe a little bit less than 2 pumps, and this is the result that I got. And like I said, it really does smooth out your skin tone. I do like the actual shade itself. I find it very neutral, which is something that I prefer. I like how everything layered on top. I think that's really important. Sometimes foundations don't work well, for example, with concealers, with other creams, or even with powders. Sometimes, you know, you powder your foundation and it could get a little goopy, or it can build up in certain places, maybe be a little bit patchy. But this really took the powder and it just kind of melted into it. So I will be wearing the foundation for the rest of the day, and then I will do a check-in at the end of the day to tell you how it's worn, to tell you how long it lasts, and I'll be back. I have been wearing the foundation for 12 hours now, and I did not intend to wear it for this long, but my day just got a little crazy. I just started running errands and meeting up with people, and just turned into a busy day, a day I didn't think that was going to be busy. So I didn't get a chance to do like a midday check-in, but this is my last and only check-in. I've worn the foundation for more than 12 hours. It's definitely not looking really cute right now. It is really separated around my smile lines, my nose area, my forehead, and my chin. Especially like around my chin and my forehead, it's kind of like, it looks like powder is sticking on top of my skin. So I'm not too crazy about that. But for the first 6 hours, it really held up really well. Even in the sun, I was pretty matte that whole time. But like I said, I am oily around my nose and my forehead, and not usually my chin, but I guess today's the exception. I mean, I have been running around. But yeah, so everywhere that I am oily, it has separated. It hasn't obviously stayed matte. So I don't know about that 12-hour longevity of the foundation, but it definitely did keep me matte for at least 6 hours. The coverage and initial application was definitely very flawless. It was medium coverage, so I did enjoy that. I like how everything sat on my face, and I do like the color and the undertone of the foundation. Will I be using it again? I do think so. I do want to try it out a little bit more, just to see, maybe work with other powders, setting powders, to see if like it's literally just wearing it for so long, or if it's the powders making it like kind of bunch up like this. But yeah, other than that, this is definitely my end of day checkup on this foundation. Let me know in the comments below if you would be purchasing this foundation, if you've tried it, and honestly, I'd like to know what shade you guys are in, because like I said, it was difficult for me to just choose a shade because there were no testers. So it's definitely interesting to see what other people are picking. Okay, thanks guys.